Razabani for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to have with me on Zoom today, my man all the way from United States of America, former heavyweight contender, Mr. Eric Molina. Eric, how are we doing?
I'm good this morning, man. Thanks for having me on.
No, always a pleasure, always a pleasure. Great catching up with you as always. First, Eric, how are things? How's life?
I'm doing really good, picking up some momentum in my training. And looks like we'll be scheduled to get back in, October 15th, about a month away, in Costa Rica. So we'll be going down there. My management team put together a fight for me down there. So we've been training to get ready for that and hopefully get a string of wins going again.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's interesting. Obviously, last time we spoke, I know you said you want to kind of ride with the wave and see what happens. You wasn't sure if you was going to box again or the right opportunities came up. But October 15, what's kind of the plan? Is it just to fight by fight and see how we go?
Yeah, we're trying to put together something. My management team, we talked about it and said we've been getting many calls all over the world: Poland, Russia, England, even some fights here in the States. We just decided that if we wanted to do it right this time, kind of get a couple build-up fights, get back in and kind of pick up some rhythm. And that's exactly what my management team's doing. We're about to go in for that fight in Costa Rica, and then there's a possible fight here in Texas in November. So hopefully we can put together a string of wins here to close out 2021, and then look for the best opportunity of a fight coming into early next year.
And Eric Molina loves traveling the world in different countries.
Wow, you know what? I was just telling my team we fought. I think Costa Rica would be the 6th country that I would compete in. So it's been a blessing to go out and see the world and compete, do what I love to do, out and about.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Eric, obviously it's a heavyweight feast coming up over the next couple of months. Some big blockbuster showdowns. I just kind of want to get your input on some of these fights. Obviously,
Sure.
starting next weekend, we've got the unified heavyweight champion of the world, a man you've shared the ring with, in Anthony Joshua, taking on the former cruiserweight undisputed champion in Alexander Usyk. A lot of people are judging Alexander based on his performances with Derek Chisora and Witherspoon. How much of a problem is Usyk going to be for Anthony Joshua, if any?
You know what? I mean, just breaking down both fighters, there's things that Joshua does great. Joshua's going to bring the power, the size. Usyk's going to bring, I don't know, it was about 220, 225. So I kind of feel that Usyk does not have the size for this heavyweight division in this era. You know, many heavyweights have harped on that. They've criticized his size. He's got great technique and he's got great skill. Obviously, that's going to keep him in the fight. But, you know, I could see that fight going to unanimous decision towards Joshua. I think that Usyk is very intelligent, very experienced, and I think that he knows what to do to get in and out of trouble. And I think that he'll be able to kind of survive. But I don't really see him putting Joshua in any type of big trouble that night. I mean, he is going to make him work, but I could see a 9-3 to a 10-2 type of victory for Usyk.
Do you feel like this size will be one of the big difference in this fight?
Yeah, I think size and power definitely both. Usyk is definitely a top warrior. You know, he's a top heavyweight. I mean, top cruiserweight champion. But you know, I think that he's gonna, in this era, man. These guys are just so big. You know, I walk around 6'5", 250, and that's a small heavyweight in this time right now. So, you know, I just, my opinion of my experiences in the ring, I think that definitely that it's going to bring him some problems in the heavyweight division.
There is quite a few pictures circulating here in the UK. I'm not sure if you've seen them, where Anthony Joshua looks like he's lost a little bit of weight and he's slimmed down. And people are assuming that it's going to be more of a boxing fight. If Anthony Joshua replicated what he did against Andy Ruiz in the kind of the rematch, would that be would he be successful in that way against someone like Usyk? Or would Usyk
I think definitely
break him down?
Yeah, I think definitely he's going to have to replicate that. I think that, Joshua is definitely getting better every fight. He's getting more knowledge, more experience. The defeat that he had with Andy Ruiz, we spoke about it last time. He made some mistakes in the fight, and I'm not taking nothing away from Andy Ruiz. I'm a big fan of his, but had he just stayed composed and boxed and did some things when Andy Ruiz was hurt, he went in for the kill, got reckless, and he lost the fight. So I think that he's going to learn from that. And he's going to learn what he should and shouldn't do in the pocket against even a type of fighter like Usyk. And that's going to be to his advantage because he's made those mistakes before and he's corrected them. And I in my opinion, I think Usyk is a better boxer than Andy Ruiz. I think he can move well. What is he coming from the left-handed position? I think and I think he's intelligent. I think he can slip. He uses the ring better. There's obviously different things that Andy Ruiz does better than Usyk, but I think in that aspect, Usyk is the better movement and the better boxer. And I think that he's definitely going to have to think about boxing and about slipping in and out, very careful. And it could be a chess game, it really can.
You've obviously said your prediction that you wouldn't be surprised if Joshua wins a unanimous decision. So would you be surprised? Would it be a shock to you if Usyk got the decision via points or a stoppage?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be definitely a competitive fight, but I can see it going 9-3 at worst. I think that 8-4 is already getting a little too closer for comfort. I think Joshua, he's a smart fighter, and he's going to adjust and be prepared for what Usyk's going to do. I mean, Usyk's going to bring what he brings. There's no secret game plan. I mean, he's fought a certain way. He's coming up to heavyweight division. He knows what he's about. So I think Joshua will be prepared for that.
A fight I know we spoke about already, but Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, it's a couple of weeks away as well now. You still sticking by with your prediction and think Wilder's going to get one over Fury?
Yeah, I said Wilder knocks him out around 5, 6, 7 in the mid rounds, maybe 8. But I just see something completely different. I've been following the training of Malik Scott, and I've had a couple conversations with Malik also. I sent him a couple messages, and I shared some of the things that I shared the ring with Wilder. We went 9-10 rounds, and there are certain things that I was able to pick off from Wilder as just he tells too much with his right hand, and Fury's just too intelligent, and obviously he's not going to land those punches, and he hasn't landed those big wild shots. I could see them tweaking up some things, and I like his punches that they're coming out crisp. They're coming out boom, boom, down the pipe, that right hand. I think that's definitely going to be the key to this fight, and I think it's going to be a key towards this knockout that he's going to get.
A fight announced only yesterday. Dylan Whyte taking on Odawa. A lot of people thinking that this could actually be a very, very interesting fight. Obviously, Otto coming off a great win over Dominic Brazil. He's obviously been in the ring with Tyson Fury, and he has an opportunity to kind of win the WBC interim and put himself in that number one position potentially for the mandatory shot in the near future. But what do you make of that fight?
I mean, I give props to Whyte. I mean, some of the names that they were throwing out, they were throwing out Ariola's name. They were throwing out, some of these other Franklin and stuff. And in my opinion, he went with the tougher of any name that was possibly out there. I was surprised when I heard about the fight. To give him props, he wants to fight the best, and you can't criticize that. It's a great matchup, and I think definitely Odawa is definitely one of those opponents that you cannot overlook. He's slippery, he's intelligent, he knows how to survive, he can make you miss, he's got great size, and so it's definitely a fight that's very dangerous for him, and so. He's actually he's been in these type of fights before, and he thrives off of them. So I think he knows exactly what he needs to do.
Eric, I'm not sure if you tuned to the boxing last weekend in the States, where we had kind of legends and MMA ex-fighters getting in the ring together.
Yeah.
it was quite sad to see, obviously, Evander Holyfield, a legend of our sport, one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time, who dominate the heavyweight division as well at 58 years of age. Kind of, what was your instant reaction when you kind of saw those images?
Man, you know what? I think it struck deep, man, because I've a lot of immense respect for Evander Holyfield, one of my top favorite heavyweights. You know, I put him in the top 3-4 heavyweights of all time as far as favorites for myself. And just seeing a show like that, I mean, seeing fighters like Evander Holyfield, even Tito Ortiz on that card, and just seeing some of the pounding that they're going through at the age that they're in, it's just it's sad, man. You know, it's sad, and I'm not going to criticize another man's what he does or what he doesn't do, but it is sad as a fan for me of those fighters. I wish them the best, you know, and definitely. I've always stuck to this, that if a fighter wants to fight, you know, that's his decision to fight. You know, it's me. I'm 39 years old. If I want to fight, I don't care what other people's opinion is. It's what I love to do. Some of these fighters rather fight and do what they love, and they might be so passionate about it that they might not want to live if they can't do that. So give that person, not only in boxing or anything else, give them the right to do what they love to do. And, you know, hey, ultimately it's their life, and we can criticize all we want, but ultimately, hey, that's their decision.
Eric, obviously, you're still a young-looking 39-year-old. Obviously, with someone like Evander Holyfield, you kind of clearly see that even when he was on kind of the mitts, that he's literally got nothing
yes,
left.
absolutely.
Like, does the commission, do the organizers, do they have to take more responsibility, or is something bad going to happen one day for them to realize that we need to stop doing this?
Well, you know, it's funny because I actually just said that statement that I said, right? You know, give them the opportunity. But at what point do we strip them from that? You know, because I did see that mitt work. I did see him moving around. And I did see an individual in Holyfield at 58 years old that should not be in the ring. So at what point do we make that decision? You know, at what point do we stop and say, hey, you know what, he's not allowed? Is it at 50? Is it at 48? You know, it's just one of those things, man, that boxing has so many different rules and laws throughout different lands, not only on the age of participants, banned substances. You know, it's unfortunately, whatever the people buy and want to watch, boxing's going to sell it. And I don't see it changing like that anytime soon. And it's unfortunate, and it could be sad, but it's the reality of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm guessing you're looking forward to the kind of next couple of weeks, Eric. Obviously, Joshua Usyk and Wilder Fury. I know a couple of months ago we were talking about Joshua Fury undisputed, but really it could all turn on its head, and it could be, you know, we could be talking about Wilder Usyk. We just don't know what will happen in the heavyweight division.
Absolutely, man. The heavyweight division right now is just wild, man. And I've told you this in some of the first interviews. Heavyweight division is a different sport. It's why England and the UK and Britain is so excited to fight out there, because you guys treat the heavyweight division like a separate entity, like a separate sport. You guys carry that sport. You create the buzz about it. Here in America, you can have heavyweights walk down the street, and you know, you can have a top 20 heavyweight walk down the street, and we're 4th, 5th, 6th, I don't know, 7-tier sports outside of the NFL. And in England, you guys embrace your heavyweights. And I've seen heavyweights ranked in the top 15 in England walk around like movie stars, man. So it's amazing what you guys do for the heavyweight division. And I can tell you that the fighters here in America, we look forward to fighting in England and fighting England fighters, just for all the love that you guys bring to the table.
Absolutely. Well, Eric, all the best, obviously, for your fight as well, October 15. I'm sure we'll catch up probably after Wilder Fury as well, just a week before your fight, and get your input on obviously the heavyweight division. Obviously, a quick catch up on yourself. So, as always, I appreciate you, my man, for jumping on and giving me a few minutes of your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Molina, IFL TV. Thank you very much.